All right, if you've ever tried to learn Spanish, you have probably hit this exact wall. You try to say one simple thing, to leave, and suddenly it's complicated. It seems like it should be easy, but it is a classic headache for learners. Well, today we are going to clear that up for good.
So, really, how do you say it? Is there one magic word? Are there a few? And why does it feel so tricky? This is the big question we're tackling today, because you know what? The answer unlocks a way deeper understanding of how Spanish really works. Okay, meet the culprits. These three verbs, salir, dejar, and irse, they all get translated as to leave, but, and this is the important part, they are absolutely not interchangeable. Each one has its own specific job, its own context. So now, let's break it all down. Let's start with the basics, the foundation. We're going to give each verb one simple core rule. If you can get these three rules down, I'm telling you, you'll be correct about 80% of the time. Not bad, right?
First up is salir. The easiest way to think about this one is as the exit verb. It's all about leaving a specific enclosed space. You salir from a building, you salir from a car, from an elevator. It also means to go out with your friends, socially. It's all about crossing a boundary from inside to outside. Next, we've got dejar. Now, the key difference here, the absolute number one rule, is that dejar always needs an object. You can't just dejar. You have to dejar something, or even someone. You leave your keys, you leave a note, you leave a friend at the station. It's all about leaving something behind.
And finally, we have irse. Now this is the one you're going to hear native speakers use most of the time. It's your go-to for the general act of just leaving or departing. It just means to go away. If you're not specifically exiting a room or leaving an object behind, irse is almost always going to be your best choice. All right, so you've got the basic rules. You're set for most situations. But now, let's dig into the nuances, because this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to look at where these verbs can overlap and how one of them is like a Swiss Army knife with a ton of other meanings. Okay, let's put them head-to-head. This slide shows the most common mix-up perfectly. With salir, the subject, the person, is leaving a place. She's leaving tomorrow. But with dejar, the subject is leaving an object somewhere. I left my keys at home. See the difference? One's about your departure, the other is about an object you left. Now here's where things get a little fuzzy. When you leave your house, you can totally say salgo de casa or me voy de casa. In the real world, they mean pretty much the same thing. The difference is super subtle. Salir focuses on that physical act of walking out the door, exiting, while irse is more about the general idea of departing, like, well, I'm out. It turns out, dejar is an incredibly busy verb. It is a real workhorse. It's not just about leaving things behind. It can mean to lend, like you're leaving your car with someone for a bit. It can mean to allow or to let someone do something. It also means to quit a job or a habit, to leave someone alone, or even to pass on a quality, an inheritance. It does so much. And here's a crucial little phrase you absolutely need to know. Dejar de. When you pop the word de right after dejar, it creates this super common phrase that means to stop or give up doing something. For instance, dejar de fumar is to quit smoking. That's a really useful one to keep in your back pocket. So we've tackled salir and dejar. But what about irse? Why does taking the verb for to go and sticking a little se on the end suddenly make it mean to leave? This, my friends, is where we get to the big linguistic aha moment that explains a huge pattern in Spanish. This is the question, right? This is what trips so many people up. It seems so random at first. You learn that ir means to go, so how in the world does irse become to leave? It feels like a weird exception, but I promise you, it's actually part of a very cool, very logical system. Okay, first, let's get our terms right. A lot of people call irse a reflexive verb, but that's not quite accurate. The correct term is pronominal. Now, in a true reflexive verb, the action reflects back on you, like I wash myself. But here, that little se pronoun is doing something much bigger. It's changing the entire meaning of the verb. And this slide just lays it out so brilliantly. It's called the telicity effect. Sounds fancy, but the idea is simple. You start with what's called an atelic verb, like ir, an ongoing action with no clear endpoint. I mean, you can go forever, right? Then you add se. This little pronoun injects a sense of completion into the action. So the result is a telic verb, irse, which describes a completed action. You haven't just gone, you have completed the act of going away from a place. You have left.
And here's the best part. This is not a one-time trick. It is a massive pattern in Spanish. Just look at these other examples. Comer is to eat, an ongoing action. But comerse is to eat it all up, to finish it completely. Dormir is to sleep, but dormirse is that specific moment of falling asleep. Once you see this pattern, so much of Spanish just starts to click.
Okay, we've gone through the rules, we've gone deep into the linguistics. So now, let's boil it all down into a simple, practical tool you can use every single time you need to say to leave.
Here it is, your mental checklist. Just ask yourself these 3 simple questions. Am I exiting a specific enclosed place, like a building? Use salir. Am I leaving a physical object or a person behind? You need dejar. Am I just talking about departing or going away in a general sense? Use irse. It's your safest, most common default. Simple as that.
So, there you have it. We have untangled salir, dejar, and irse. But you know, the journey doesn't stop here. Now that you understand the power of that little say to completely change a verb's meaning, think about it. What other verbs do you know that follow this exact same pattern? Keep your eyes peeled, and thanks for diving into this with me.